One. Here we go. Map number 1 is going to be played on Northern Isle, and starting in the bottom left-hand side of the map, representing Ukraine, playing Night Elf. Make some noise for Foggy.
And in the top right corner of Northern Isles here, wearing the blue trunks, it's the GOAT, it's the legend, it's the 5th race himself. Make some noise for Moon! Well, Todd, I don't know about you, but the anticipation for this match was certainly off the charts here. Moon has the chance to make yet another grand final in his illustrious career. And we have Foggy also fighting for the opportunity to go up against his long-term rival, Happy.
And already a deviation from both players. Of course, they both went Demon Hunter, as we're seeing, and are doing some creeping of their expansion, but Immolation for Foggy, whereas Mana Burn for Moon right now. So Foggy is going to have the advantage in the creeping speed, perhaps, but down the line, of course, you cannot really overcome it on Immolation, because obviously you just get burnt, and you're going to lose hit points on top of your mana pool as well.
Yeah, that is certainly tough to deal with. I spoke about in previous series, being able to get the mana and life back on the Demon Hunter. Not so easy when you use Immolation to creep, of course. And Foggy, he is known for being pretty sneaky in Elf Mirror. And we see already, of course, a Hunter's Hall from Foggy. A pretty common choice by him, honestly, strategically, in Night Elf Mirror. He loves those mass huntresses, the second Ancient of War, of course, following as well. And Moon, so far, he's just taking up to tier 2.
Foggy's going all in here. Second Ancient of War, Hunter Soul is going to mass hunts. He's going to go for the kill. Moon has to realize this is happening. The best way to realize this is happening is to scout. He needs to either see the second Ancient of War or the lack of tech in the main base. I don't think it's been the case yet. Usually Moon has very good game sense. He should be well aware that Foggy is capable to go for this kind of build. If he does not see this coming, it's going to be supremely hard for Moon to hold.
Yeah, Moon actually selling the TP here, which is pretty greedy. He might find himself being surrounded by those huntresses later on down the line.
Oh, he's going to scout. He's going to scout down there. He's going to check the expo first. Does he go into the main base? That's the question.
Moon here, he might be able to deduce what's going on. He sees that there's no fast expansion, and I would love for Moon to go over and check the main base of Foggy once again. We'll see if he does that. But for the meantime, the Demon Hunters meet here on Moon's side of the map. Last hit goes over to Foggy. He's 2.5 already, actually, getting a little bit of an experience lead. And Moon here, you see his mana is looking a lot better. When the Demon Hunters stop brawling, he'll be able to heal up a lot easier.
Moon sees one single archer. This is very suspicious. Now he's going to see a hunt. That's a massive tell of what's coming. I'm a little bit surprised that Foggy revealed this already, so he might be going for the attack here momentarily here after this, because now Moon knows exactly what's happening. Once you see one hunt, you know there's going to be way more and a potential all-in as well with this.
Yeah, I don't think there's any tier 2 hunts players out there, unfortunately. So Foggy here kind of showing his hand a little bit too early, I feel. I think Moon didn't actually properly scout what was coming. We don't really see much of a special reaction on Moon's
trying to
end
scout.
at the moment.
He wants to see if there's a tech. It could be one Rax hunt, I guess.
Possibly,
some players
yeah.
do that sometimes, even though it's like a little bit of a weird build. And he's going to see the lack of tech. He knows what's coming here. But the Hunter Soul is not up yet. I think ideally against this, you probably want to get an AP in the middle of your base. And usually what you'd see is a lot of archers and a lot of dryads for maximum piercing damage against the hunts to get rid of them. As far as the second hero goes, I've seen Tinker being used quite a bit in those situations.
That's true. Yeah, also Panda is a perfectly acceptable choice. I do quite like the Tinker as well. It really helps to build a nice concave for the archers to keep them safe. We see Moon here adapting, getting the improved bows. Already 6 archers actually at his disposal, looking to get a second here from the middle, I'm sure, very soon. Foggy here wants to apply some pressure early on, trying to damage the Demon Hunter as much as possible, which is absolutely crucial when going for an all-in in Night Elf Mirror.
And Foggy starts a tree. It feels like it's been revealed that this is not going to work. Moon saw what was happening, but I think it's quite delayed. I mean, the hunts are going to give him map control for a very long time.
Yeah.
For Moon to be able to fight, he's going to need to have a whole bunch of dryads to slow down the hunts when they come into fight. He's gonna get a keeper as well, which is very good with Entangle against Hunts. But of course, Wisps can be used to detonate whatever Entangle gets used.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised here to see the keeper pick, actually. Of course, it is strong to potentially pick up units, but as you pointed out, Wisps, of course, an excellent counter against the Entangle. Seeing Foggy go for the Hunt play, but also go for the early expansion reminds me of Nicker back in the day. He used to play quite a lot of Hunt expansions, if I do recall correctly, a little bit before my time. And we see the defensive AP coming up for Moon in the base, absolutely essential. Even if Foggy
against an all-in only, I think.
Yeah, but I think also if Foggy ever decides to do a run-by, it will be a useful base defense regardless. And Moon here feels like he needs to stay tier 2, so I think getting a little bit of base defense is quite okay.
Yeah, there's still no tech here from Foggy. It's just pure Hunts for now. He's adding one more Moonwell. Of course, his supply stock for a little bit because starting a tree was very expensive. So he's loading actually a good amount of gold right now. Upon seeing the Keeper, he should start using a bunch of Wisps to move out with his army. It's definitely worth, I think, to detonate against Entangle to make sure he doesn't lose a single hunt every time. And Moon is doing really the only thing he can do right now, which is creep something close to his main base where he's going to be somewhat safe. And it's really for Foggy to decide where he wants to go from here. Does he want to keep on massing hunts, eventually tech and transition into mass archers with his superior economy?
Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see if Foggy does decide to hit that tier 2 button or not. It's quite common as well to see Alchemists be paired second with the Huntresses. Of course, that healing spray and, of course, the acid bomb against archers in particular could be absolutely devastating. Foggy finding the Mana Stone, which is being sold immediately, completely reasonable, I would argue, from the middle. And of course, as you said, Moon creeping defensively as much as he can, but getting really good items on his own side. We have the Pendant of Energy for the Keeper, which is really strong, and the big healing potion for the Demon Hunter. Always amazing.
And Foggy now has, Mana Burn level 2, but no evasion whatsoever. He's going to do a pull in center to grab the Hill Scroll and perhaps the Invuln here. I think I see him, he just sold one of the items that he had. And the expansion is up. I think Moon, once we go past a certain time in the game, he knows that if he hasn't been attacked, it means there is an expansion. So he double checks for it. And now Moon might be about to find this creeping in the center, but not before the big item is going to be grabbed by Foggy. And it's going to be Vampiric Aura, absolute trash. Sell that right now.
Get it sold right now, says ToD. Obviously not the best item in the world, only really useful for the Demon Hunter. And Moon wants to try and pick off some units. Of course, Foggy creeping pretty greedily, it has to be said. Only one archer going down, though. Moon not really finding the most amount of damage, but then finding the Huntress to the side.
Oh, the Zeppelin.
Oh,
that's so
beautiful.
genius.
Yeah, to get out of surrounds potentially as well. Maybe evacuate some archers.
Yeah, just spread out units. And you can dodge actual shots of hunts while they're midair if you're really good, which Moon definitely is.
We've all seen that famous Moon micro clip, right?
Yeah.
It was on YouTube. It was like super low quality, and you saw him just moving around all the units in the Zeppelin.
I love me some 240p highlights, you know?
Oh yeah, we're so used to those in Warcraft, that's for sure.
The passion carried us through.
So many years, so many years.
Yeah, this is one of the most epic clips. Wait, APs from Moon at the expansion. Foggy very nicely sees it. That should be easy cancels on that, but can he hold in the main base? Foggy working with what looks like 6 more hunts here, and it's only his demon. But the demon of Moon is already very low. Zeppelin not being used at all.
Yeah, Moon here is pretty happy to burn the Greater Healing right now, which will be used momentarily. We see the piercing damage on the Huntresses is incredibly effective. The Zeppelin obviously used to micro the archers to the back previously to set up the fight beautifully beforehand. I wonder if one of the APs will finish to the right. We'll find out soon. Demon Hunter in a little bit of trouble from Foggy right now. He needs to be really careful against the Keeper in time.
Is that a Moonwell juice at all? I think it...
I think so.
It seems like he has no Moon juice to heal.
Oh, level 2 Entangle is available now from Moon. Oh, the Wisp Detonate was absolutely crucial there to keep the Keeper mana below that 75 mark.
Oh my god, he pushed him back. He's pushing him back.
This is amazing hold by Foggy right now.
And Moon is expanding in the meantime. I think he could tell this wasn't going to work. Healing Scroll, they're competing for the Healing Scroll right now.
There we go. Foggy manages to secure himself the scroll, finds himself in a little bit of a difficult position. Are we going to see some blocks? No. Moon decides, okay, I need to just get back home, heal on up, and accept that I've done enough damage. He's bought a lot of time for this counter expansion, ToD.
Yeah, Foggy needs to buy a ton of potions if he can, but he's still tier 1, right? Yeah, he hasn't teched.
He hasn't teched at all.
So he doesn't have access to any potions. He only has the few Moonwells that he had. He actually uses that for the hunt. That's very selfish, Hunters. Demon Hunter needed that to be healthy. He's going to grab an Invuln, perhaps. Yeah. I think he should check the marketplace, because Rejuvenation Potion would be massive here.
That's a really good point, actually, and it's easy to forget about things like
Or
that.
imagine Hellstone. The absolute dream.
Absolutely, especially with the 2 base economy running right now, you can definitely afford really good consumables like that. But Moon, he will soon be able to afford anything he really wants. Oh man, Moon playing with fire right now. Wait a minute!
Oh my God!
The Zeppelin comes crashing down and Foggy is cleaning house with Moon right now. He is losing so much supply.
How did that happen? He went the complete wrong way here. That Zeppelin's gonna get a DUI at this rate. Gets caught.
Put that Zeppelin out of commission. Moon here, underestimating the damage coming up from the archer there. There's a few archers that Foggy actually made, and they were able to put damage onto the Zeppelin. We can see here in the instant replay what
he was
exactly
trying to
happened.
be aggro. He went over the trees, but there was still a bit of vision, and then he went left side instead of going straight up. The one archer was the one that sniped that. Now, Foggy is creeping the merchants. He's used one more scroll, and he's gonna press forward as he's pumping glaives. That was a huge catch here, probably game deciding.
Oh man, what a tough position for Moon now. It felt like he was playing this game so well. I don't know why he didn't decide to fly over the tree line past the Murlocs in that last archer shot, sending the Zeppelin crashing down. And Moon here, he is severely lacking supply.
How do Foggy doesn't realize that there is an expo if he just prefers to attack the main base instead? I guess it doesn't really matter as long as he focuses all of his attention to one big spot that he's going to attack into. But Demon Hunter level 5 is so scary here for Foggy with Mana Burn level 3. He's got good items, he's got an invuln to stay in there for a very long time. Moon, I don't know why he's fighting in the middle. He sees this AP push coming here in a second. He's getting Nature's Blessing. So he wants to maybe use some of the trees here to help and fight, move forward with the APs and the shop as well.
Yeah, Nature's Blessing actually doubles the movement speed of the Ancients and gives them 5 additional armor. That will certainly help. And if Foggy ever decides to build glaives, then of course that will be useful in the base defense. We see actually a glaive present here. The Dryads trying to get it around to the back. The Demon Hunter going in, getting a hit
the Wisp
off
block
there.
Oh my God.
Sick Wisp block is in the way. The Demon Hunter can't even get past.
Oh, that was amazing. He saves the glaive for now. Demon going deep inside of the glaive throwers. The Demon of Foggy is gonna stuff in from across the map. He burns the entire mana pool of Moon's Demon Hunter. The Demon diving for a glaive. He already just used the staff, so he can't get back home now.
Oh my God, Moon playing with fire right now. He is so low on HP, and look how strong Foggy's Demon Hunter is. Good items, superior levels, Invo Potion to his name as well. And it feels like Foggy has an absolute stranglehold on Moon's base.
Foggy was probably watching Dice doing an AP push earlier. He's like, oh, that's good, but I can show you also how mine is pretty darn good as well. And now he's on the warpath here. 47 supply to 40. And Moon scrambling to stay in this game against 3 APs, sieging him. No sign of any glaive throwers or anything like that for him. How is he supposed to kill those APs?
I feel like this Keeper pick is so lackluster on the base defense. What does it really do? It's basically just a big archer putting out a bit of damage. The Keeper is always dry. Wow, the Demon Hunter Moon here playing again with fire, skirting the lines between life and death. Healing up right now as well, looking quite strong once again, and does have the heal scroll at his disposal. Moon with tons of gold. Yeah,
keep in mind, Foggy has 1 upgrades. Moon has absolutely no upgrades except for improved bows, but he has 0 archers left, so that's not even coming into the equation here. Demon Hunter is going to take the fight, and that's it. Foggy with the first map win here on Northern Isle in this best of 5. What a performance and what a push. I loved how he adapted, because it looked like he was going to go all in, and he was like, you know what? He realizes this is coming. I'm just going to expo from here. He almost waited for Moon to have scouted that there was no expo, and he was like, now he's going to take it.
That's so damn smart, man. It's these sort of moves that make the difference, especially mirror matches, I find. You know, you want to play off of the information you gather, and then all of a sudden it actually hasn't gone the way you thought it did because your opponent decided to adapt in the moment. And we saw that expansion work out tremendously for Foggy. Of course, Moon tried to get his own counter expansion. It did mine for a little while, but that Zeppelin crash and burn, it's safe to say that that definitely put one of the nails in Moon's coffin.
That was really weird. I wonder if it's like it can be a misclick sometimes. Like you click in a certain part of the screen and you accidentally click the minimap. Have you had that?
Yeah.
It's like
totally.
the worst.
Totally.
Because usually that means you go the complete wrong way. And yeah, with that dying, like he lost Keeper, he lost a whole bunch of units after that. Yeah, good luck recovering. I think even if that hadn't happened, that might have been a tough game here because Foggy looked like he was going to do a big push very soon. There was no sign of tech. So I do think he was maybe planning even to do this sort of big push the whole time.
Yeah, I think so too, because at the end of the day, Foggy decided to never tech. I think the only option to close out the game, if you have the expansion, which is of course one advantage you try to get for yourself, is to put down your opponent. We saw he had time to set up the APs. in a great position as well. He created so many interesting little chokes
Yeah.
to be able to stream armies, his forces in and out. Of course, we saw as well the Wisp block there. The Demon Hunter couldn't connect with the Glaives for the longest time, had to run all the way around while taking pot shots. And then Moon's Demon Hunter, he was just going down, man. He was bleeding from all sides.
The Demon had to lose like 60% hit points or something to kill one Glaive, and then there was one more. And I like the choice actually of Foggy to pump only Glaives there at the end, because he already had enough army and hunts that can't quite go in, but can cover the rest of his army very well. So just get a bunch of Glaives and then just siege from afar with the APs, and Moon was just in an impossible situation, unable to get his own Glaives to destroy the siege of his opponent.
I'm trying to think potentially if a Panda would have been nicer. You know, obviously it really helps to have the level 2 Breath of Fire and defense.
Yeah.
And we saw the Keeper was actually able to hit level 3 pretty easily, to be honest. Foggy wasn't putting the
Before
most amount of
crashing and
pressure.
burning into the ground.
That's such a sad sight to see, man. I mean, the Keeper, how does he even fit in the Zeppelin to begin with? That has to be honest.
That guy went skydiving without parachutes, Quberte. that was ridiculous. Once he crashed, it's the worst as well, because once the Zeppelin crashes, you're walking in slow motion.
Yep.
It's like there's no way I can escape. Then you're still clicking away, hoping that by some miracle you get out. So, all right, let's go straight into map number 2 here to figure out who can take the lead or equalize. We are going to be playing on Autumn Leaves for map number 2. Starting in the bottom left-hand side of the map, in the blue, playing Night Elf, it is Foggy.
Foggy here, playing amazingly in game 1, taking the lead. But his opponent in the top right here, of course, is known for so many accomplishments in his career. He is the GOAT, the one and the only Moon. You know, both players, Todd, they're so adaptable in Night Elf Mirror, and we see that Moon has already made an early game adjustment. The Priestess of the Moon will, in fact, be the first choice for Moon, a rather fitting choice, I would say.
Yeah, curious how it's going to try to make this work exactly. Usually you think Priestess, you immediately think, okay, mass hunts, all those gimmicks and stuff, but there's so many variations of build orders nowadays. Like we see sometimes, I've seen Priestess, 1 Rex Hunt into Dark Ranger Dryad at times.
Yep.
There's so many possibilities with what you can do with this. And yeah, we do see the Hunter Soul. So it was Priestess with the fast Ancient of War. Of course, you want to creep with that into a delayed Hunter Soul. So with that build, you don't go to harass immediately. You creep 1 first camp and then you go for the harass. And he finds a Ring of Protection.
Oh, there's some potential here for a last hit steal, actually. The Priestess damage not to be underestimated. There's a huge last hit, but it manages to go barely to Foggy. That was such a close moment there. Imagine if the Priestess managed to steal that.
Yeah, that would have been extremely bad here for Foggy, who, can he land the deny? No, he doesn't even try. He's just trying to damage the Priestess as much as possible. So Moon, he's not able to steal the creep, but he takes his anger out on that 1 archer.
Yeah, she certainly felt the wrath of the Priestess there. The thing is, though, Moon took a ton of damage to try and secure that 1 archer. I feel like, you know, 1 archer kill is not necessarily the most significant in the world. And now the Demon Hunter is hot on the tails of the Priestess, and she can just run in circles pretty much and hope to shake him off. Oh, I love the early Wisp Scout this time by Moon. He is like, I want to know exactly what my opponent is doing. I do not want to be surprised. And we see Moon trying to hide his Wisp in amongst the blue Wisps of Foggy.
Yeah, the thing is, Foggy is the one that needs to be scouting really well here. He needs to know that, you know, there is no tech. And he was the one using the Expo last game. He's gonna need to do a follow-up scout eventually. And very curious whether Moon might do an all-in here with a huge mass tier 1 attack, or if he will Expo. This map is one of the shorter rush distance maps. It's more encouraging, I think, to go for some sort of like multiple hunts AP attack into the opponent's base. But I think Foggy should be very familiar with how to stop this. We talked about the Tinker second being key against that.
I'm loving to see that the players are microing their heart out, and we've seen so many Wisp blocks already in the early game here. 2 Wisps blocking a Wisp. It's not so often that you see that situation. We see Moon trying to confirm once again the position of Foggy's Demon Hunter is quite content to just creep up to presumably level 3, and Moon has begun mass Huntress production. The factories are in full flow.
You know what's very interesting, by the way, about getting an AP against mass hunts like this is that if you get it, then the opponent doesn't. It's very harder for them to run inside of your base and kill everything. But then they can just sit back and siege, and you have 1 unit less because you made that 1 AP. So it's a difficult choice, right? Because if you skip it, you perhaps allow the opponent to run inside of your base, wreck you. But if you get it, then they can just siege you from afar. So you have to factor that in consideration, I guess.
Yeah, an AP actually costs basically 195 gold, almost the same as a Hunt. So that is definitely a difficult choice to make there. I do feel that it's essential. Those run-bys with Hunts could be deadly. I mean, how easy is it to take down the tree with like 8 Huntresses? It just goes down in a flash.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all decisions and choices. All of those are going to add up in a game like this. We grab a Berserker here, actually, for Moon in the center of the map. I think it's pretty smart to squeeze a camp like this because he has enough units that he's going to do a ton of damage and take this out very fast. And he's also going to get very close to level 3. Gets the Book of the Dead. It's a pretty good pushing item, but against Elf, it's probably like the one matchup where you expect Wisps to be able to get rid of that. But that's before, without taking into account how well some of these players can split and kind of prevent that from doing as well. So curious whether he's going to keep that or sell it.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. The Book, of course, is really effective on the attack, but also if Foggy's Demon Hunter ever ends up in an awkward position, Moon might be able to just immediately book and close that surround and seal that chapter. In the meantime, here we see, oh, Moon actually uses it to creep with, but oh, when he loses the last hit to the Demon Hunter managed to steal the Ogre Magi, but at the end of the day, the Priest is still able to secure level 3 easily enough.
And pretty bad items, I would say, for Moon. The ring in the first hand, he uses the Book of the Dead, yeah. And I guess Cloak of Shadows, once upon a time, it would have been the worst item because you couldn't do anything with them that the Priestess can't already do, but now you can cloak during daytime with it. So maybe even keeps it, and later, when it's pushing potentially during the day, he's able to use Shadow Meld.
You can see Foggy here picking up the Panda. I'm sure he has been the recipient of many Priestess pushes, as he's done it to so many other players before as well. And I find the choice to go Drunken Haze a little bit confusing here, because I feel like if Moon is going to push soon, the Drunken Haze isn't going to do so much. It will help the Demon Hunter tank more, but I feel like you need the Breath of Fire in order to cancel APs and deal more damage against the Mass Huntress.
I mean, a lot of the units are going to be missing left and right. I think that's the point, is like to reduce the damage enough that you can wear this army down. Priestess shows up, there is dust. He uses the dust, he forces a temple with just the Priestess being there. Of course, there was the threat of the army being on the other side, but it's covering those Ancient Protectors being made right now from Moon. Foggy about to engage into it. He needs to get a cancel on those Protectors, but then his archers will be exposed.
Oh, this is such a tough spot for Foggy right now. He's moving the archers into the back of the base, but you see the range that the Priestess has. She's able to actually take out that additional Ancient of War in the front, and that goes down easily. And Moon, he's going to have 3 APs soon, and the Glaive is already in production early on, which I really like. And we'll see here just how much Foggy is able to put on a miraculous base defense.
I think he needs to get a kill on the APs here really badly.
Yeah.
That's probably what he should be targeting, but there is so much army to worry about as well, despite Drunken Haze. Moonwell's being used to their fullest. It's daytime now, and the APs are not going to be prevented from finishing at all. So Foggy is taking a different approach. He's going to go for Glaives and try to camp it out and out-glaive Moon. It's a glaive off, Quberte.
Glaive off indeed. I mean, I think that's potentially the only option Foggy has. He is now pretty much contained within his own base. Moon has already set up 3 towers, but the trouble is, how are you supposed to out-glaive someone when you only have 1 glaive-producing building versus 2? I mean...
Yeah, and there's True Shot, and usually the one playing on multiple Ancient of Wars already is going to have upgrades. So in this case, there is 1 already available.
Yeah, the damage actually from True Shot is immense. It's already level 2, 20% more range damage on those already pre-upgraded glaives. And the Ents are marching forward right now. Foggy, all he can do is sit back and wait. A second glaive in production. Actually, Foggy managed to get up the second Ancient of War in his main base as well, so we will have double glaive production, potentially.
Yeah, he's doing some housekeeping with the lore. He's redesigning the place.
I love that, actually. That's actually such a nice detail from Foggy right now. But Foggy, he's like, I need to get rid of this glaive right now. He's heading in. The Wisp is being hit at the back here, but you see how much damage the Demon Hunter is taking. It's so tough to get rid of Moon.
That's insane, and that was with Drunken Haze on a bunch of the units as well, mind you. Imagine how much faster he would have died without that.
Yeah, to be honest, the Demon Hunter might have had to just immediately staff. I don't know. It was already kind of close, and the miss chance is so high on level 1, but it doesn't feel like it was impactful enough. Moon here going to get the first Moonwell kill of Foggy right now, and Foggy, he is going to be stuck down at the depths of 40 supply. Moon, with 50 food at his disposal, can get even more upgrades if he so wishes. The lore actually made its way out into the front. I'm not so sure about this, ToD.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he has no use for it. It's not like he's going to produce with anything, so I think he was just trying to buy time, tank with it, so the glaives can clear out some of the opponent's glaives, maybe even the AP. One of those glaives about to fall. Moon, he almost got that, but Foggy pulled it back beautifully. And if Moon wins this, you have to wonder, is this just going to go into a Priestess against Priestess for the rest of the series? Because so far, that's looked like the one build being successful in it.
Yeah, Priestess is just absolutely deadly in Mirror, and in fact you can play it so many different ways as well. You don't necessarily have to all-in your opponent, you can go for Alchemist as well. But we'll see what Moon does in Game 3 when we get there, because Moon at the moment is laying siege to Foggy's base. We see the glaives being repaired actually for Moon, doing great damage to Foggy's backline. Here we see the glaive go down for Foggy. He already lost one. How is he supposed to outglaive the opponent right now? Foggy here in the front line where the Demon Hunter is just getting absolutely ravaged right now by the Huntresses. We see the March of the Ents from Foggy's side, and they're just disappearing in the face of Moon's army.
Yeah, Foggy having Immolation and Mana Burn means he has no evasion, which is terrible against this army. He's been taking so much damage the whole time. Moon with the equalizer here. Man. Priestess of the Moon is all the rage so far in the series.
Yeah, Foggy versus Loliot. Actually, previously, Foggy managed to play the Priestess as well and take down Loliot with that strategy as well. And it just feels like it's such a difficult hero to play against, even with the Demon Hunter. No matter how strong that hero is, it always feels like the threat of the base attack is what seals the deal, and it would take an insanely good defense from the Demon Hunter player in order to somehow get rid of the APs or push the hunts away or something.
It's almost just better being the offensive player, I guess defensive here for sure. Not having evasion though, like that demon was getting wrecked in every fight. Every time he went forward, there was that many units that, even with Drunken Haze on low, the units that were missing, the demon was just melting. So perhaps an error here going Immolation at all, not sure. Like, or should he have gone Immolation Evasion?
I think Immolation Evasion, yeah, because what do you really need the Mana Burn for at the end of the day? The Priestess is always going to be putting damage onto you. She's a ranged hero. Yeah. It's pretty hard to get into range ever, especially once the base siege is set up. And I feel like Evasion, even potentially level 2, might have been more useful for Foggy to try and keep his hero alive as long as possible.
I think, now that I think of it, I think Moon might have anticipated that Foggy was going to do the Merchant first, because it's standard meta on this map. And he was like, well, if you do the Merchant first and I go Mass Hunts, your Ancient of War is almost trapped on the map.
I wanted to mention that point as well.
If you bring it back home, I'm going to snipe it. And also you're not making archers, which you need. So then it's like you just basically start the game behind if you do that. It's already like not a build order win, but a build order advantage, let's say. So it was played beautifully. He did get the Ancient of War eventually, and then we saw Foggy scramble, try to remake that back at home, but he was just playing from behind, and Moon knew how to seal the deal.
Yeah, the Ancient of War was just so far out of position. Of course, it is miles away from the base, the Goblin Merchant, especially in Autumn Leaves. And I feel like if you're not able to move it closer to base, how are you supposed to get the reinforcements you need in order to fend off the Huntresses?
Yeah, tough game for Foggy, but it's still anyone's match here. We still have 3 maps to go, as it's a best of 5, and happy awaits in the grand finals for a best of 7.
Oh, isn't that just such a delightful prospect, Tom?
Don't think about that.
Yeah, exactly. You got to put out your mind. Put out your mind while you can. But for the meantime, we will be seeing Game 3 between Foggy and Moon. And here we go, Game 3 between Foggy and Moon. Foggy representing Ukraine in the top left corner. Give some noise for Foggy!
His opponents in the southeast, in the blue, playing Nightail from South Korea, the legend, Moon!
Well, we certainly have a tantalizing series between us right now. 1-1 is the score, and it's Demon Hunter Mirror once again. I'm a little bit surprised to see that.
Yeah, where the Priestess at?
Where the Priestess at, yo?
Perhaps because of the map, I guess. Like, this time the Ancient of War would be way closer to the base, so there's not going to be a situation like on Autumn Lives. And we have a different camp being done. Moon doing the slightly greedier one. Of course, it's going to take a little longer to do this. Also, maybe a bit of increased RNG here, where you can get like some really quite terrible items, but also some very good ones, whereas on the other side, it's like a little bit more standard. We did have a Glove of Haste picked up by Foggy.
Yeah, it's a very good point you bring up there. I was going to say the same. Basically, you're playing the lottery right now. Of course, Moon is going to get that level 2 sooner and gets a more difficult camp out of the way. He can take all the other camps that Foggy is currently doing at a later date. And it'll be harder for Foggy to go back and take the same camp. But of course, if you get a bad item, then it doesn't look so good for you. But in the meantime, Moon picked himself up Claws +8.
Aye. That's everything he was hoping for. The absolute best item here possible for him. and he wants to build up on that. He wants to grab some more. I mean, on this map, I think across every matchup, you always see a whole bunch of creeping, and usually at least 2 to 3 items being picked up before the real aggression begins, depending on the matchup. And you have the marketplace on top of that, which some players utilize more than other. So if you can open with a bunch of damage items and you grab 1 or 2 more, like your hero is already in prime position to fight very effectively from the get-go.
Absolutely. Both Demon Hunters here looking to grab as many items as possible. Moon here, I like his approach because he'll be able to get the 3rd item and move his way towards the middle and potentially buy a circlet ahead of time. And the dust as well may come in handy. And Foggy actually is going to meet the Demon Hunter almost at the same time. This is a close battle here to see who can press the button faster. And Moon, he does get the circlet. And
Foggy's full hit points and full mana here going into this fight. So huge advantage. He's going to force Moon all the way back home. Very confident to keep on fighting. 1 more mana burn goes through. And that's going to be those Moonwells being fully used. This might give enough air for Foggy to go for a camp, maybe even the Magi, which is why Moon left an archer there to spot it if that were to happen.
That is such sick heads-up anticipation by Moon. It's a pretty easy camp to do. Of course, the elementals there don't do any damage at all. Basically, the Magi is very easy to take down. And Moon here just has to sit back, sit tight, and obviously defend against the pressure here from Foggy. And Foggy is like, well, if you're going to sit in your base, I'm going to set up an expansion.
And this time, Moon is the one playing without evasion, by the way. So his demon's taking so much damage every time he's being attacked here. He's none of these attacks is being evaded.
Yeah, once again, I'm not certain about the lack of evasion here. It is definitely really difficult to continue to take trades without it. Hopefully Moon here can make some use of obviously using his 2 main spells. And Foggy, it feels like he's bought so much time. What a beautiful archer block coming in front of Moon's Demon Hunter right now. Is a TP going to be forced, ToD?
Oh my god, I think it is. He's blocking him a little more here. The Demon barely gets away. He turns around. Foggy trying to cut the retreat here. Neither player has boots. Foggy has a wisp at the lab. He might send that all the way around here for the block in a second. He's not doing it right now. He might just turn around and give that up. And Moon, what an escape here. If Town Polo had been forced, that would have been terrible.
Yeah, you absolutely don't want to give up that TP so early on. I wonder if Moon's going to try and drop the items. He doesn't bother to drop the items, and there's the burns coming out once again. Both heroes now looking at least a lot more even, but that also gave Foggy the space to get the Naga first, which is definitely very important.
And he's on the chase against the archers. He had an archer shadow melded, which I think Moon doesn't know about. So now he's going to get those archers cornered up there. Moon, I don't know if he scouted it. He might have scouted it. He's trying to go for the cancel on the tree. Foggy right behind him. He needs to punish this attack, kill all of those units as soon as possible. I think targeting the demon might be the wrong call here because he could really kill all those units, but he's trying to force the temple. Foggy getting ready to repair. I don't think the tree is going to finish on time, and it's going to be a cancel by Moon before getting out of there without losing a single unit.
Oh man, Moon played that absolutely perfectly, able to cancel Foggy's expansion. It feels like Foggy was super reliant on getting that expansion up. Moon getting his own Naga at this point, able to retreat and heal up again. And pretty aggressive shot here though by Foggy. It feels like he might be going for some sort of all-in pressure.
Maybe Archer Talon?
Oh, it's Tree of Eternity actually behind this. Okay, so maybe Foggy wants to go for as strong an attack as possible and buy space.
Oh, he's going to play Mass Archer with...
marksmanship.
Yeah, marksmanship, Ord, sometimes Tri-Hero as well, like Priestess Third. Oh, yeah, there is an Ancient of Wind, yeah.
Okay, so Foggy perhaps just thinking, you know, what is it that I'm going to go with in the end? And he finally decides to go with those Druids of the Talon. Of course, they are really powerful when the Master upgrade is available. That Cyclone is such a huge disabler for the Demon Hunter.
You know what it is? I think Foggy read perfectly that there is no evasion, and also Moon overextended. He lost a lot of his Moonwell juice here slightly before daytime. I think we're getting like right around the corner from sunrise in a few moments. So he's like, okay, well, you're not going to be able to heal very well. If I just push you here, this is going to work perfectly. And we have double winds on the way, in fact. So it's not going to be the Mass Archer style. It's just going to be Talon Tech, which we already saw featured in previous series here.
Yeah, Mass Talons on the side of Foggy. Really, really powerful once you manage to get enough of them out, build up the mana pool over time, and have that Mass Cyclone that you can just spam relentlessly on heroes and bears. And Moon, he is going for lures. I would like to see if Moon goes for the Mass Bears regardless, or will he adapt and go lots of Dryads?
I think Moon has a Wisp in Foggy's base. Can we check?
That's a
this is typical.
really good
this is typical Moon.
Such
by
a good
the way.
spot.
So he knows. He should know what's happening. So he can already start adjusting. He's going lures. In this case, What we saw previously, I think it was maybe in one of Lola's series, is that he just went Dryads and then Mountain Giants. He just keep Bears entirely, because Bears take extra damage from magic damage, which is what Talons do. And also with Cyclone, it's very hard to deal with. If you just go Dryads, Mountain Giants, you perfectly counter this composition here.
Yeah, the only trouble for the Dryad MG combination is that it takes obviously a long time to get the MGs online, but it does feel like getting mass Dryads beforehand and then breaking upkeep with the MGs with the upgrades pre-prepared is really strong. So Foggy, will he go for a timing attack, or will he try to get an expansion behind? The thing is that the master training takes a long time for the Talons, though, 90 seconds.
Yeah, but the Tree of Eternity is about to finish, and it's lining up very well with when the first training finishes, the adept training, so he's definitely going to get that in a second. I feel like sometimes, like we ask ourselves those questions, he might not even have decided yet, you know, he might have an idea of which way he's leaning, but I think more scouting is going to tell him exactly what it is he needs to do here, and we see the Druid of the Talon Master training start now.
And Moon on the other side, he's actually beginning with a Mountain Giant instead of Dryads. Definitely an interesting choice. He might find himself in a sticky situation if you come up against the Talons and don't have enough Dryads prepared with the Abolished Magic.
I guess he can count on Wisps until then. Like, you don't
maybe.
really want to wait until you're tier 3 to get the Mountain Giants, because when tier 3 finishes is when you need to get the research for resistance skin and all of that.
That's true. Yeah, that's the trouble with the MGs.
44 players could learn that, let me tell you.
Take some notes. All right, Tree of Eternity here, finishing for Moon. That should be the hardened skin and the resistance skin coming as soon as possible. And Moon trying to buy as much time as he can with that Demon Hunter, who is looking rather strong. Ring of Protection +4, the Circlet, the big healing, and the Invo Potion. It feels like Moon is really prepared.
Yeah, Keeper third, it's so interesting by Foggy here. I think he's just trying to use enough things that require a Dispel that Moon won't be able to deal with all of them. In this case, Cyclone, Fairy Fire, and Entangle potentially. And he's going to give him some good crowd control as well with the Entangle, which I'm assuming is going to be the spell of choice here. And both players should be building up their orb counts, with multiple orbs being used down the line on all of their heroes. Druid of the Master, Talon Master training just completed here, so Cyclone is now available for Foggy.
Yeah, Foggy with that Keeper third, a decent orb carrier, not the best in the world, but the Entangle will be useful in crucial moments. We see Moon is happy just to leave the laboratory camp there and move on to the next most important camp. As we know, Tidehunters has such great camps at the bottom. The chance here to get very good consumables is very high. And Foggy, I think correctly identifying he doesn't really have a window to just push, especially by getting an Alter Hero third, and he actually sets up an expansion behind.
I think actually whatever item he gets here is going to be good. Scroll of the Beast, Greater Healing, Greater Mana, Mana Steal, Big Invuln, all of them are completely fine and very helpful.
It's all gravy.
Oh, and he gets the Greater Healing.
Yeah, superb item right now, but the archers are getting massacred here. Foggy jumping straight on top of them, just completely ignoring the MG. Cyclone comes down onto the Naga right now. Oh, Moon might be in a dangerous position. The surround comes onto the... Oh, the Naga is so close, but the Demon Hunter Foggy is also getting low. Nice health potion usage, though, keeps that Demon Hunter alive. The Invo Potion was triggered as well on Moon's Naga. Oh, the Naga's in so much trouble right now. Does Moon have a staff? Moon does not have a staff! The Naga goes down.
And he couldn't transfer the potion instead. The Demon Hunter might be next here. He needs to be careful. There is no proper escape. There is just the staff here for Moon, who's fighting right now to stay alive in this game. The Mountain Giants come forward, but they're not really doing anything. They don't exactly do much damage. They're usually just there to tank, but there's no army to do any damage. Moon gets surrounded. He's got the Greater Healing. He's going to use that. Tries to staff out. There is no Cyclone right now, and he's going to be able to get out.
Oh, man. Moon here, knowing that he would be able to afford getting surrounded, had the Greater Heal Potion at his disposal, but Foggy managed to blow through all of Moon's consumables, and it feels like Foggy here, he's done a great job so far, but the MG numbers are climbing. We have 3 available already, and as you said before, Moon not really relying on Dryads, but actually just the Wisps for the Dispel.
He needs to make some, for sure, here.
Yeah.
This is crazy. We see one Dryad about to finish. Hardened Skin just completed. This Naga, it feels like it's taking an eternity to remake here. Still 17 seconds more in the altar. Foggy not being that healthy. He's just going to pull back. He has an expo up. He knows that Moon has no expansion. He should be in a very comfortable spot from here, but he's going to go back forward. Wow, he really wants to keep on pushing. I think he knows he's got Moon somewhat on the ropes here, so he wants to do more damage. Gets the Cyclone on the Demon, and the staff is down for 37 more seconds, but the Naga gets the staff for preservation back home. Foggy perhaps overextending here. Moon on the chase now, and Foggy is losing units.
Moon playing perfectly there. I don't think Foggy realized that the Naga was coming back so soon, and of course the Staff of Preservation online to save Moon's Demon Hunter. And Foggy there throwing a few units away almost unnecessarily.
Still turning around. Foggy wants to brawl, even though he has Expo. Sappers going around. And there is no Nature's Blessing. 2 Sappers will kill a tree unless they detonate on one another, which happens more than you might think.
Well, I'm sure Foggy doesn't want to see that. Wants to see that happen. Of course, Moon coming with the 2 Sappers. It's going to be close. Foggy doesn't realize. He doesn't realize that the expansion goes down.
And in the meantime, Moon is engaging the army in the center. It's 50 supply against 50 right now. Foggy trying to retreat here. A lot of the Moon Wells are empty. His demon is not healthy at all. He needs to heal back up. He may have overextended here, overfought, instead of playing a bit more defensive. And not seeing the Sappers coming was huge. If you had just had a Wisp on the way, you can easily intercept and prevent that from happening entirely. Or if you get Nature's Blessing, which, to be fair, didn't really make much sense with his build here.
Yeah, Nature's Blessing, pretty expensive to get. I would have liked to see 1 Talon just be left at the expansion. You can Cyclone the second Sapper that comes in and prepare the Wisps around perfectly. Yeah. And then you get to kill it afterwards.
The thing is, if you see them coming, you can repair enough that the tree doesn't die into Sappers. And then the whole investment is for nothing.
True.
Like, you immediately start repairing after the first one. All right, Foggy engages on the other side of the map. He wants revenge for that expansion being sniped. And it's not being remade, by the way. So Foggy heavily committed onto this aggression here. Mountain Giants doing a ton of tanking at the front. Dryads, he's trying to catch them. Demon Hunter is stuck in the middle of a forest and Dryads. Ooh. He's trying to go for the Naga at the back.
Both the players here just aiming heroes at the moment. Of course, you have to ignore those MGs. You know, you're not going to kill them with the low magic damage that you have. But Moon's Naga is in serious trouble right now. But of course, the staff is prepared.
Yeah, Demon was spending a lot of time up in the sky here. That guy was tripping for a bit. Demon Hunter of Moon goes for those talents. They're so squishy, as are the heroes. Foggy trying to do what he can here, sniping a Dryad at the back, but not much. He's very healthy anymore. Demon taking so much damage.
Like, Moon's Demon Hunter is getting a little bit low, but of course the second staff is prepared on the Naga. While Moon playing with fire for a second and manages to get the kill on the Naga. Foggy didn't see that one coming.
Foggy's on the chase, but he doesn't have enough. And Moon, after an absolute bloodbath, a brawl here on Tidehunters, takes the lead now 2-1.
Foggy. I feel like he overcommitted so much. I don't know why he felt the urgency to get so much done. He had the expansion in the back, should have been aware of a potential Sapper play. It's extremely common, especially at this level of play. You know, no Nature's Blessing prepared. The lack of awareness, of course, would have been first and foremost in defending that cheeky Sapper play by Moon. And of course, you know, these are such crafty players, and Moon managed to claw his way back into the game as a result of that.
I think he played this aggro because he thought he was out-teched. And he would be right in that, because he was massing talents against Dryad Mountain Giants. This is absolutely not what you want to happen. So I think he realized that if Moon makes it to 60, 70 supply with enough Dryads with Abolish Magic, talents are going to become completely useless. And he's going to have his army countered so much that he has no chance anymore. So he tried to fight a lot. But Moon, he did well enough in the fights to stay alive. And then once he killed that Expo, he kind of put Foggy in an impossible situation. So he just went all in after that. Those 2 Sappers, man. When I saw them, I was like, if this is me, they connect into one another, and I don't get the tree, and then that's how you lose games. But no, Moon is too clean for that.
Yeah, I'm sure he's used, thousands of Sappers in his long career, I'm sure. And that was just absolutely critical, obviously, Foggy there losing the Expo. And then just being forced to go for a desperate all-in. I didn't like how over-aggro he was, though. It felt like he needed just a little bit more time. Maybe a few more consumables were required, maybe 60 supply and push into Moon's base.
Yeah.
Or he could have maybe gone for his own Sapper play and supply block Moon and try and take a fight at that point.
Yeah, the thing is, Moon went for 3 Mountain Giants very early, so he was kind of behind on the Dryad production. So while eventually Foggy would have been countered, the thing is, he had his talents very early because that's all he was pumping. So even if he had waited until Moon had, like, let's say 3 to 6 Dryads, in terms of mana, he would have been so far ahead that he might have been fine in the fight.
Yeah.
Let's go into map number 4 here to figure out if Foggy can get the Equalizer or if Moon will move on to face Happy in the Grand Finals.
Map number 4 in this first semi-finals of the Being Esports event that we have before us. Foggy representing Ukraine once again in the bottom left corner. Make some noise for Foggy!
And his opponents in the northeast, in the blue, representing South Korea and DRX. The legend himself, he wants revenge against Happy in the grand finals. Make some noise for Moon!
I can certainly hear a lot of Moon fans in the audience right now, Todd, and I can tell you, I would be super excited to see a rematch of Moon versus Happy in a best-of-7 setting.
Yeah, ideally with Happy not finding greater healing into Mana Stone.
It always feels like Happy finds those drops, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And Moon here, he'll be hoping for some better luck himself. Both players opting for the Priestess once again. Pretty common choice on Concealed Hill and Elf Mirror. We saw Dice earlier, utilizing that to great effect against Goliath and outplaying him in the Priestess Mirror. I wonder if either of our players here took a look at that match before coming into this.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. Slightly delayed Hunter Soul by Moon because he wanted to collect more lumber first to start that sometime closer to his Enchanter 4. And he's already starting to work on his wall. We saw on this map how key it is to build a good base. Dies against Lowlight showed very well how things can change just from a little gap in your wall and an archer not doing its bouncer job.
Yeah, precisely. Lowlight in that series, unfortunately, losing oversight of what could happen to his base, and we'll see if our players here are able to keep on top of everything that's going on. It's interesting to see a deviation in their build orders despite aiming to play the same thing. Moon here will have the Huntresses out a little bit sooner, but Foggy should have the earlier Moon juice.
It's all about that juice, Quberte. Not just the slushies here at the bar.
Oh man. Okay, Foggy here getting... Oh, actually both players got Slippers of Agility. Pretty nice start for both.
Yeah, but the ring against the claw.
Yeah.
No, that's about as unfair as it gets.
Yeah, you love them rings, Todd, don't you?
Yeah, head claws. The Wisp, look at that little dance.
Yeah,
you know, Moon knows about every single hidden spot for Wisps on every map. There's a urban legend that he spent hours inside of maps just checking every tree one by one.
I think Foggy did something similar, right? He was always a player that knew lots of spots, especially in Last Refuge.
But he just took them from Moon, he didn't do the hard work.
No, exactly. He didn't do the heavy lifting. That's why Moon's the master, right? He was the innovator. He was the one fighting these things out, and Foggy was just plagiarizing his book.
There you go. Esne on some of these units here, they're going to start clashing very hard in the center of the map. These fights almost feel a little useless, because unless somebody greatly overextends, nothing should really die. And as I said, that actually Revelation used one archer of Moon will go down. Foggy getting the first blood. It's a fountain map, I was gonna say, so you can heal very easily with whatever escapes, but Moon retaliates and gets the archer of Foggy. Dude, those archers should have stayed home. It's ridiculous.
It feels like archers in the open field are just completely useless versus the Huntresses. Moon also researching Sentinel earlier than Foggy, so he will have that pseudo map hack vision that it grants over the map. You see also Moon went for the earlier Huntresses, of course, as well. We have 5 in total soon to be on the field, and Moon's getting a little bit ahead in creeping, but Foggy here deciding to take on the next big camp and secure his own level 3.
Yeah, funny enough, in this matchup, unless you get like a glaive thrower to shoot down the tree or mountain giant to pick it up, you can't really get rid of those. Night Elves need hatchets, man, to get rid of the sentinels.
Yeah, exactly. Now, there's not much you can do, of course, until the glaives are there, and then are you going to spend all that time getting rid of the owls? I don't think so.
Of course you are. It's a matter of principle.
Yeah. It's like critters, right? You can't leave a single one alive.
Exactly. So double glaive production now for Foggy, and he's not going for his lab. He's running across the map. Moon's the one creeping the lab right now, hoping for perhaps a Scroll of the Beast. Would be the best item possible here. What do we get?
Big mana, unfortunately, for Moon. Probably the worst item possible to find, unfortunately, but it is a lot of money should Moon be able to find his way over to the shop. But Foggy's looking for an aggressive play right now. We see he has 5 Huntresses available. Moon has quite a lot of his own, of course, as well, and is on his own side of the map, so reinforcements are not to be underestimated.
Wait, Foggy's getting an AP? Where is that? Is that a top left?
Do you know what? It's
it's
actually in base.
Wait, what? He thinks that Moon will just get a ton of hunts and dive the tree, which, to be fair, is kind of the meta on this map.
Yeah, I feel like Foggy is perhaps just preparing ahead of time. It does feel maybe a little bit preemptive.
He might go 4 glaives and get a Zeppelin, and then start dropping all over the place.
And just play purely defensive, have the APs at home.
Yeah.
Maybe even more than 1 AP, to be quite honest.
If you do that and like you threaten the tree of your opponent, you already false the town portal. The second time you do it, you get the tree, and there it's like, what? There's no anti-air, there's no effective anti-air other than the Priestess.
That's the beauty of Warcraft, man. It is a game of chess. I mean, these players are playing it on a 5D level.
Look at that Wisp setting up. Thanks for clearing the camp, just like you scouted all the trees I can hide Wisps on. I'll take that Zep if you don't mind.
And Sappers potentially as well.
And Moon's like, no.
They both set up shop next door. Moon here getting rid of the Wisp. I actually think that's a surprisingly important play. If there was the ability to steal, if Foggy had the ability to take away Moon's Zeppelin and potentially Sapper him as well, that could be huge.
Plagiarism is the highest form of flattery, Quberte.
There we are, well remembered.
And I think Foggy might now go for his own lab. He's like, all right, I've been denied the other lab. Perhaps I need to clean out mine. Or, yeah, okay, he's pulling it, I think. He already has a Wisp in position, I believe, to maybe bite without creeping it. But sometimes that gets ensnared. The Wisp took that bullet, took that little net to the face. I think he wants to go for the timing right now. That's the thing. That's why he feels he doesn't have the time to creep his lab. He feels like he has to go now. He's level 3. He knows that Moon's going to be creeping more. Moon also doing the same thing with double glaive thrower on the other side. That's awkward.
Ooh, nice little few pot shots through the tree line there. That
I can
was
see you.
Cool.
This is a warning shot, sir. Turn around.
Turn around and go back home. But Moon here activates the Scroll of Protection, actually. Feeling like he certainly has the advantage in the upcoming battle, but the glaives, they're making their way forwards right now, but getting chipped a lot, actually, by Moon's glaives in the back as well. This is going to be hella chaotic, ToD.
Yeah, Protection Scroll amazing here for Moon. He used that, and I think Foggy realized he couldn't engage quite properly yet, but Heal Scroll is already available there for Moon. I think Foggy might have to match that and get his own here. And, you know, when I mentioned that the only anti-air here was a Priestess, that Priestess is one hell of an anti-air here with True Shot level 2 and Searing Arrow and a Claw.
Yeah, he's looking super strong right now. Just before the pause there, we saw Foggy was actually producing 2 archers. Obviously there to try and help the Priestess counter the Zeppelin. Yeah. And if we see another Zeppelin crash, those glaives are going to be absolute history.
Oh, not the driver again.
The drug driver that crashes the Zeppelin into the ground, and those glaives, they are horrible when out of position. They're so slow, and the Hunts will get straight on top and destroy them.
Yeah. Zeppelin is like the thing, like when you play against it, it seems so annoying. It's like, why are they so fast? Like, I can catch them with anything. But when you play with it, they're like, oh, God, they're so fragile. You know, they get caught easily.
Yeah.
We've all had, at least once, many of us, way more than once, lost a Zeppelin above a forest, haven't we?
I think Moon has also lost his Zeppelin above a forest many times, actually.
Dude, he's played like
important series.
Hundreds of thousands of games. I freaking hope like he lost his
dozens
Zeppelin.
of times. No, it's definitely those. It's one of those things where you try and pick up all the units quickly, and you're like, I want to get out of here as soon as possible. Get over the tree line, and suddenly you get caught by a whole volley, and it just crashes and burns. Those goblin drivers are not so reliable. You know, it's obviously the goblins, right?
Yeah, it's not us at all. We're not the ones controlling the Zeppelin. It's the goblin drivers. So. Let's unite against them. Let's sue them. Great series so far. A lot of different strategies. We've seen the Priestess pretty successful so far. Then we saw a Demon Mirror, and now we're back in Priestess territory. And it seems like we're ready to get back into the game here with the Zeppelin being chased after by the Priestess.
Yeah, Moon here doing a great job just keeping track of the Zeppelin. It feels really, really important to keep tabs of that. And we see the Huntresses from Moon just retreating into the base, going to heal up a little bit. Foggy getting his own protection scroll, having burned Moon's earlier. I wonder if that is soon off cooldown in Moon's shop.
And Tree of Ages, starts for Moon now.
Yeah.
So he must feel like it's time for the next stage of the game. You don't really want to break up keep unless you really mean to attack sometime soon, because you will be mining way less than the opponent for a long while here. If you did that, and I think neither player really knows exactly what's happening. I don't know if Foggy got... Oh, he doesn't have Sentinel, actually. So Moon's the one with all the vision in the world in comparison, because he has a whole bunch of Sentinel around the map. So I think he was thinking about perhaps creeping the Expo for a second, and now he sees Foggy move across the map. He's like, all right, I knew that was coming, and he's getting ready for the defense.
Yeah, Sentinel here is just an amazing upgrade. Moon knew what was coming. He's sitting in base just waiting for Foggy to come back, and of course Moon having to bring back his own glaives in their personal transporter. And this tier 2 will be really strong if Moon actually manages to survive. It feels like Foggy needs to make something happen here. He has no plans of going towards tier 2.
Yeah, dodging some shot here very nicely from the Priestess. Unloads the glaive throwers on the other side. There's going to be one Initiative 4 stranded out on the map going down. Less production for Moon. He was trying to get a unit out of this. He actually broke up keep a second ago. I think he's really worried about this attack here. Protection Scroll used by Foggy. Moon already used his earlier. That was a cooldown. Both players with a heal scroll. Foggy already uses his. Moon still has his own. Can he hold here? He's closer to level 4.
Huntresses on both sides here just splattering against the glaive throwers right now. Moon doing a great job microing his units into the back of the Priestess, and Foggy is trying to chase them down. And Foggy in the back here also microing his units wonderfully. The Zeppelin, of course, amazing for keeping good control of
Moon
his
killed
units.
nothing. He's 3.9 still, just like at the start of this fight. Foggy saved everything, but his army is completely bruised.
Look at the health of the units in the Zeppelin there. They're basically all dead, ToD, but a heal scroll will soon remedy that, I'm sure.
It would be so tempting to do the fountain, but that's where you lose like 10 hunts. Yeah, then people will start questioning your GOAT status, so you might not go for it.
Yeah, it feels like one of those things, like what if your opponent left a unit there and just wakes up the creeps and you didn't pay attention for a split second? And also with Sentinel, you can keep the units revealed as well.
Yeah, how far away from nighttime actually are we? Because that might be a sick move here.
We're just about to turn to night, as we can see at the top of the overlay here. Moon going for improved bows actually, and the second attack upgrade. And the Alchemist, of course, here, a very staple pick in Priestess Mirror. Going to be amazing with that heal spray to keep Moon's army be a little bit more durable and resilient.
It's kind of standard to transition into archers there. They're really good against hunts. Heal scroll used already now for Foggy, so he's not going to wait for an Alchemist or a Fountain to heal with. His tech is way behind. Oh my god, the +2 is already almost finished here for Moon, who again is closer to level 4, and I think should be getting that momentarily here after 1 unit kill. Double Zeppelin. Foggy Airlines reporting in. He wants to save as many units as he might try to unload on top of the glaive throwers of Moon. Imagine if he does that and he punishes.
That would be an insane moment of seeing through the Matrix. Imagine microing your glaives with a Zeppelin at the back while microing your hunts to drop on top of your opponent's glaives. That would be amazing, obviously, if Foggy is able to pull it off. But also, he can lift up the entire army.
There we go.
This is like a double meta.
He's going out in the tree.
Now.
Moon needs to town portal pretty quickly. Okay, he can absolutely cannot wait. That tree would die supremely fast if he didn't do that, so he went for it straight away. He wasn't born yesterday. Foggy unloads on the other side. One single shot, then pulls back. He doesn't want to overextend. Tree of Ages about to finish. Moon went way earlier into upkeep, so he's been mining at 7 per tick here every time those wisps gather gold, whereas Foggy's been mining at 10, so significant income advantage for Foggy, but that's about the only advantage he's got in this game right now.
Oh, I wonder if Moon's aware of this play right now. Foggy going back round, back door with 6 hunts and the Priestess. And don't tell me, Moon is going to start the creep camp right now, while Foggy is making his way into Moon's main base with those Huntresses. We may see a tree here taking
and there's no TP.
Damage.
He has to run back. Okay, is this enough to actually properly threaten the tree? There's 3 archers already in position. Foggy's going to turn around, try to snipe one of them, but there's so many Moonwells that they shouldn't go down. And I don't think this is going to be successful. This is no real threat. He needed the second Zep with the glaive throwers, but he wasn't there. I see something coming in on the minimap. Is that the second? Oh my god, he was out of position! He might have gotten the tree here if he had everything.
Yeah, I think Foggy here maybe just wanted to force Moon back a little bit and thought that maybe Moon was coming towards his main base and sent the glaives home in advance. Of course, he still has his own TP. We'd be able to get home easily enough. But yeah, I felt like Foggy maybe should have just gone all in there and bring both Zeppelins across. He does have the TP after all.
And he does break upkeep now. 53 supply for Foggy, pumping out 2 more hunts. He's going to match the upgrades. He did go for Moon Glaive, by the way, which somehow Moon skipped. Maybe because he transitioned into archers, he felt it wasn't worth it. I do feel like if you have even just a small number of hunts, it should be worth it. So I wonder if he completely forgot about this somehow.
It's definitely a very rarely researched upgrade. It doesn't add the most amount of damage. It adds a second bounce that does like quarter damage of the original attack. But there's no reason not to get it. It costs like 50 gold or 100 gold. So
it's practically free, just like Ultravision.
Yeah, exactly. And actually Foggy here neglecting the Ultravision and the Sentinel upgrade as well. So it seems like Foggy here does not want to rely on any sort of upgrades at all.
Has Foggy been denying the Sentinels? Because I don't see many of them here. Oh my god, he starts the center as Moon is right behind Foggy. What have you done? Moon may be about to move to the grand finals here if he can punish this creeping in the center. He gets right on top of the wisp, forces the town portal. Can Moon kill anything? Nothing has died so far. And I think everything lives somehow.
Yeah, Foggy getting away with murder, actually, to be quite honest. Has the time now to build up even more units. Hopefully there's enough Moon juice at home for him to heal up fully, because it feels like Moon is on the warpath now.
Yeah, kind of a terrible item, I think. I mean, it is a bit of agility here with the helm. But unless he puts it on his face and screams, "Witness me," before rushing in, I don't think it's going to be doing too much more.
Yeah, the Priestess damage, of course, not to be underestimated in these fights, but you'd love to have seen an aura. But we have a huge fight coming out between the two players. 60 supply plus on each side here. The Huntresses are going to go down really, really quickly. We see the Glaives in the back now firing on both sides. There's so many Hunts being taken down on both sides. Foggy is plummeting his supply. He doesn't have an Alchemist to keep his own units alive, but there's no heal scroll either. Wait, the Glaives at the back. Moon's Glaives at the back being beautifully microed. Oh my god!
Yeah, there's still so much mana on the Alchemist as well. Close to level 3. Gets it now. He's 5-3 against 4.8. Huge hero lead for Moon, who has way more supply as well. He might have done it here. Foggy trying to hang on for dear life. He's 4.8. He needs level 5 massively here. The Zeppelin's key to saving units, dodging shots mid-air, gonna be extremely important. And Moon is looking so strong right now with this push. The unit's quite injured, so he's pulling back a little bit, perhaps to use one more heal spray before he goes again.
Oh, nice dodge once again by Moon. We might see, though, a little bit of a change in pace here. A few more units are actually standing tall. The archers are not so easy to kill. So Moon's army should be standing resilient. We see the Glaives at the back again are pretty low, and it feels like Moon here is pressing forwards. There's so much damage coming up from this Priestess right now. The level 3 True Shot is massive. And look at this Zeppelin micro once again. The Glaives get the shots, but the bottom on Moon's side is taking a ton of damage here, but gets micro to the back. Close one.
I think Moonwells are mostly empty here, and Foggy will push back the attack of Moon here. 40 supply against 46. I thought that was it for a second, but he does survive, very importantly. Damn, the camp wanted some piece of the action after watching all this.
As if there wasn't enough to go around. Moon here, he's banked so many resources right now. 1k gold available, should be able to get another scroll. Staff of Teleportation, where is Moon going?
He's tipping bottom right, yeah, to actually do the Drake.
That is so heads up right now. Left the Drake there, and of course Moon now managing to get enough archers to clear that camp out.
Some sick item potential, by the way. Oh. Obviously not True Shot, but...
No, not True Shot for once. Oh.
Boots of Quberte! Oh my god, this
nice.
Priestess is gonna hit
26? Oh man, that's going to be so strong, especially with the level 2 Searing Arrow ToD. That Priestess from Moon is hitting like a truck.
And yeah, Foggy, he's going to take some insane Zeppelin macro to come back into this here. He does have a Priestess level 5, but it's one scroll against one scroll. He does have good mobility with double Zeppelin, but the thing is, it gets spotted perfectly every single time here by Moon, who has enough anti-air now that those Zeppelins are going to be in danger anytime they get close to the opposite side. Wait, why is he walking across the map? Okay, he turns around. I was like,
yeah,
that's like the one way you can lose here if you underestimate these Zeps.
Yeah, and especially because Foggy is actually unlocked level 3 True Shot aura as well. The damage from the Glaives would be absolutely immense, especially with those 2 attack upgrades. The Tree of Eternity being researched for Moon right now. I guess he feels comfortable enough to progress up to that point, looking to get marksmanship archers, Orb of Venom potentially. There are so many things you can unlock at tier 3 for Night Elf.
Chimps, maybe? Okay, maybe not in this game.
Well, to be honest though, Foggy has really neglected archers. You know, he made a few and did get the improved bows, but Foggy feels like he wants to get to 50 supply of pure Huntress and Glaives, and then maybe think about the archers. But even then, in the previous fight, he had a ton of hunts.
That would be funny. He thinks he's far ahead enough he can pull off a Mokba in this game.
It's always mass hunts or mass chimps from Mokba. Huh?
Yeah, well, there will be both here. This game. Double scroll for Foggy. It's always nice. Obviously, there is a cooldown after you use the first one.
Yeah.
His Priestess is also pretty good, to be fair, like good hit points. And he grabs the Town Portal. And he's just staying very patient. I think the plan for Foggy is maybe to stay on 50, mine out the rest of the gold that's available in his main, and then get as much army as possible and try to win one big fight. He's hoping that Moon will overextend, basically.
Yeah, because it feels like to me, if Moon goes with that exact same game plan, he's the guy with tier 3. He has 2 heroes, of course, at his disposal as well, so that would mean that you can use more consumables at once. You have the double heal scrub potentially on Moon's side. Marksmanship. So I feel like Moon just has to sit back and wait and not get cheesed out by these glaive drops.
We've seen Foggy in the past be excellent in base race, by the way. If he feels like he's too far behind and he cannot win normally anymore, he goes for the base race. That's what he's going for here. That's why he's researching Nature's Blessing right now. He's committing on the tree, but Moon is already in position. Foggy's gonna lose everything so fast. Does he have the time to kill the tree? He has Moonglaive. He's gonna have to Town Portal in a second. He goes for it, and he gets the tree. Foggy gets the snipe on the tree, but he loses a lot of his units here. He's down to 45 supply against 46. So he's the one mining and producing behind this. And Moon, he started an expansion in the meantime, so he's gonna be able to get that tree here momentarily. The Moon doesn't need to go all in and counter-attack here, but he might choose to, knowing that the units of Foggy are massively injured.
Oh man, we're gonna just take a quick look at what happened once again. We see here Foggy streaming in with the double glaives and Moon being forced to micro his glaives back into the Zeppelin, and we see the level 3 true shot man on those glaives. It's just so powerful indeed. And actually Moon cancelled his tier 3, but it was just about to finish. He would have gained more HP on the main building and it might have just survived, or it would have allowed Moon to get a few more pickoffs. I think that panic cancel there may have also cost him a bunch.
He wanted his money back, man.
Well, you don't get much back, do you, if you cancel it while it's being damaged, unfortunately. So, yeah, Moon, I think you got ripped off.
Unfortunate. Double scroll still for Foggy. He did use the one during the previous siege on the tree. He's getting Sentinel, finally. He's like, all right, I've done a bunch of damage. I need to be the one with the map control. I guess he's the one with enough hunts now to be able to use that. Moon very archer heavy, actually. Against these hunts, yes, they do a lot of damage to the hunts, but so is the opposite true. And could we see a Starfall down the line? That might be the plan. Just somehow kill enough units to get a Starfall and make it rain, you know? Moon wanted some money, well, catch that. Catch those bills.
Well, Foggy here, of course, you know, he has the solo hero. He is a tier 2, so you get that bonus experience. If we may indeed see Starfall, that would be such an awesome way to close out this match.
Am I seeing that right? There is a Priestess siege in the bottom left. He was attacking the buildings for a second.
Yeah,
what is this?
I think the Priestess is just trying to put chip damage on the
He's doing so much damage, oh my god!
Wait, it's like literally like nearly 80 damage a shot, that's insane.
He was sieging the main base with just the Priestess, and somehow it's working.
The Priestess pretty much carrying an RPG right now. Foggy, he's prepared. Oh, he's staffing in as well with the Priestess. That is such a heads up.
Oh, but there is
move.
archers. The Zeppelin is gonna get targeted.
But look at the tree, it's going down so quickly. Moon has to upward immediately and take less damage. The glaives, wait, the glaives are being sniped for Foggy. I think he's overcommitting. He did manage to get the tree, but lost, oh my god, he lost all glaives in the process, ToD.
Yeah, and that gave some big experience here to the Alchemist. He's trying to snipe some wisps on the other side. I think he was trying to kill all the trees and all the wisps, in which case there would never be any more economy for Moon, and Foggy just can move his main tree to the expo eventually and also mine the gold that's left. How much gold is left? Actually, he mined out the main base.
He's mined out. And there's actually Nature's Blessing available though for Foggy.
So Moon is now the one with gold left in his main base. I don't know how much it is. Can't be much. Has to be like 1,000, 1,500 tops.
Yeah, just a few more minutes of mining for Moon in the main base, but I feel like he has the advantage now. The superior heroes are on Moon's side. He has the superior supply as well, and it will take Foggy quite some time to establish himself in the middle. Of course, the trees being moved along. Actually, Foggy deciding to go with the natural.
Oh my god.
Oh, wait.
Oh no, you didn't.
Exchanging the slippers here for the
claws. Oh no, you did not. A freebie slippers.
That was nighttime robbery there by Moon there. That was very cheeky indeed. Wait, Moon finding himself at the corner here.
Oh, he doesn't even need to use Revelation here, since there was a Sentinel.
That 21-minute Sentinel upgrade coming in clutch, ToD.
Yeah. Cheap and effective.
Cheap and effective indeed. But Moon, he looks in prime position here to press on against Foggy's main base here. Of course, that is not mining yet for some time.
Oh, I love that. Extra scroll protection here.
Yeah.
Foggy needs to dive from behind. Yeah, he's setting up from behind to get on top of the glaive. He needs to put the Priestess on the Zeppelin. I think that's very important. Once that Zeppelin dies, the game opens up. And I think the dream here is that, well, actually, he's counter-attacking. What?
Is Foggy going for one of his famous base races again?
Yeah, full base race here. I thought he was going to try to dive the squishier units and get a Starfall and then try and get a game-winning Starfall. But I think he can tell Moon also has so much experience on his heroes, and he would be the one getting Starfall, and he just can't take a fight, basically, against this Alchemist. There is no way with Acid Bomb and Heal Spray. So he forces a TP back, and his tree leaves at the expo, I think.
Yeah, I think Moon TP'd a little bit too early, actually. Foggy's tree surviving in the bottom corner with 157 HP, ToD. That was like 2 more glaive shots and he'd be dead. Oh, a bit of an oversight by Moon there. Does it really matter if he lost another Moon
sending some units.
TPing?
I think he's sending some units to finish it.
Oh, there's a Zapper again!
Oh my god, not again.
Oh, not again! Shades of Tidehunters right now. Moon is sending the last Zapper to take care of Foggy's last remaining base.
Do something, Wiz. Stop them!
Something.
Stop them!
Please! Save the tree! Foggy has no way to save it. Wait, Moon! He's coming with the Zapper once again. Foggy's not staffing back. He's not staffing back! Wait, it's going down!
And now Foggy is the one that has to go all in. He has no choice. If Moon gets that tree, he's going to get so much gold out of this. Moon in the driver's seat here. He's got way more supply. Foggy goes for the main base. He might try to eliminate all the buildings, but there is enough army for Moon that he should be able to stop that. The tree in the main is being targeted. Moon goes for the staff. Priestess hits like a truck. Remember, that Zeppelin is going to get two-shotted. On the other side, Glaive Throwers eliminating Foggy. Moon is giving him a taste of his own medicine.
Foggy here doing the best he can, I think, given the circumstances, does manage to take out Moon's newly rebuilt main base, of course, which mined out rather fast, and Moon pressuring Foggy's remaining buildings beautifully here. Of course, both players now running on no economy, but Moon had enough resources to start yet another base. Moon and his bases, man, how many of those does he make per game? It always feels like he has the gold to set one up whenever he needs it.
You tell me?
You experienced that.
You know how much
firsthand.
I've suffered against this guy?
Oh, yes. For too many years, ToD. But it's okay, you don't have to suffer anymore.
I wonder if the archers could win this alone. There's so many of them, by the way. Look at this.
Oh my god.
That's so much damage right there. With the alchemist on top of that to heal them. You know, I thought the archers are squishy and this might be dangerous, but because he has the alchemist with acid bomb and heal spray, he's actually totally fine. And I think Foggy is getting more and more desperate to get across the map and find some damage. He just has absolutely zero economy. He can't really afford to sell his items to remake a tree. And I think he's going to try for one more minute or two to get through, but Moon is unbreakable at this point.
26-minute game here on Concealed Hill. I am so excited that it's gone this long. Foggy, he is fighting for his tournament life right now. He is on the ropes, and it looks like Moon here may be finally punching his ticket into the grand finals. Foggy, desperate, I think, selling everything he can. 3 heal scrolls actually at his disposal here. I think there's maybe a few too many. There's a cooldown on each. And Moon's coming with the archers. They're upgraded 2-2 right now. And of course, the level 2 heal spray is a huge support for the backline of Moon.
Yeah, Foggy is looking desperate right now for him. He's going to try to maybe defend inside of his base with the Moonwells. He's still flying around with the Zeppelin. Maybe trying to catch anything that he can. But these archers are going to shoot down the Zeppelin so fast. If Moon realizes his own move command, so he doesn't see it. So the Hunts actually get to unload without being stunned. But Moon has so much army. Foggy coming in with the Priestess. He needs to kill a bunch of these archers. And Starfall immediately to push back this army and land more kills.
We may potentially see that Starfall coming. The Priestess is 5.8 right now. Foggy with a genius move here, collapsing upon the archers. Moon actually losing quite a lot of supply himself.
And the Priestess, the fountain is clear on the right side. So the Priestess can run away and the injured Hunts can be sent there for some free healing. Is there one more Sentinel here? Did he see the archer hiding? Gets it. Very nicely done by Foggy. He's so close. He's 5.9. I think he needs to get 6, get near the Expo, and Starfall right there.
Yeah, he definitely has to activate Starfall near the expansion because he has to threaten it if that expansion
Oh,
is
but there's double Ancient
so
of War. It's beautifully done here by Moon.
Oh, Moon is so smart, man. The heads-up play to build or move the Ancient of Wars back over to the expansion side here to protect it as much as possible. Foggy, if he's stuck at 5.9, that would be so tragic, ToD.
It's always like that, isn't it? So dramatic.
Just when you need it, man.
I don't think there's any more Sentinel here for Moon, so he can't really do
Wait,
much
hold
about
on
this.
a second.
He's going for the block.
Wait, but there's Sentinel available on Moon's side.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, he can't get out! No, Foggy! Don't go down like this, he's going down! Moon is getting the killing potential, but wait!
He can't escape anyway. Moon just has to use Revelation.
Oh my god, he denied himself! What? He calls GG anyway! That was not the end I was expecting right there, but there we go. Moon closes it out 3-1 against Foggy. What a brilliant game to conclude that series.
The 5th race lives on. After losing map number 1, Moon will move on to the grand finals. Well, try and get a rematch, a revenge against Happy, who's awaiting eagerly for this.
I like how you use the word eagerly, ToD, because that is certainly how Happy feels right now. He's licking his lips at the prospect of yet another Night Elf to feast upon the might of the Scourge against the Elves. They felt the pressure from that race for far too long.
Yeah, we talked about this on the couch earlier, though. Dice had an interesting series against Happy. It didn't go his way, but he did win the one map. He showed that Happy can bleed. Maybe Moon learned something from that. I'm sure he was watching and he was thinking, okay, I can use this. I need to do this on this map, and hopefully he can put up a good fight. We need a 7-mapper in the finals. Come on, we deserve it.
We deserve it, man. We've had a few 2-0s up to this point, and I would love to see it go full distance. That would just be the sickest way to cap off this beautiful event that we have before us.
Foggy, I gotta say, all praise to him. Showed up really strong here. Top 4 finish. He proves that he's still one of the top dogs in the scene, and even though he hadn't been playing a ton of tournaments, he still got it. A father can still do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Foggy, he's just come so prepared for every match, I feel like, you know, even though he's not grinding as much as he used to do, I feel like he is a player that is able to study against his opponent and play super well. And, you know, that series was close. Of course, last game there, unfortunately for him, really going Moon's way, but it felt like Foggy had an opportunity there to have his best chance in that series.
Yeah, oh man, I can't wait for the grand finals. I think it's going to be great. But first, before we go into that, let's go and hear from the guys at the couch.
And here we are again, and what a series it was. Remo, man, especially the last game, that gave me goosebumps. Yeah. So much amazing Zeppelin micro there, and Foggy with like some really nice strategic, like surgical strikes. You know, striking the main tree that was on its way to tier 3 from Moon, just to, you know, get a little bit of breathing room there in order to, you know, come out of the deficit that he found himself in, because Moon, you know, just, I don't know. He was just the stronger player overall, I would say, and Foggy was constantly fighting uphill, it feels like.
Yeah, it also seemed to me like Foggy was trying to go for plays, was trying to get ahead. He was trying to expand here, trying to go for a talent push here, trying to drop in with a Zeppelin, and a lot of these moves worked, but most of them didn't work, because I think credit here goes to Moon for being really on point. He had all the dangers in his mind lined up. He knew what to expect, and it's so hard against such a volatile player like Foggy. There's so many fires burning at the same time. You have to put them all out simultaneously. Lots of multitasking required, lots of presence of mind required, and Moon did really, really well. I think, for example, this is where Xlord kind of failed early on in the tournament. Foggy was going for plays and they were working out. He's going for a counterattack with the Panda. The Acolytes are dying. He can't respond, but Moon was always responding really, really well. We're going to take a look at some clips later on, but I think first we're going to have some other segments as well. I think we got quite a few coming up. If production could tell us soon what's coming up next, that would also be nice. And there is also free event pictures in the lobby in 30 minutes.
Okay, so everybody...
40 minutes. What? For the next 30 minutes. There we go, yeah.
We're sorry, okay, we had some communication issues, but we were just been informed that in the lobby of the venue, everybody that is in the venue and wants like free pictures from the venue should go there. They can get free pictures there from Jerry for the next 30 minutes.
Shout out to Jerry.
Anyway, shout out to Jerry, of course. Also, we have the interview ready with the winner, which is Moon, so take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm here with the victor, Moon. Congratulations. I would love to hear about the games. So in game number 1, Foggy used the Priestess very successfully. Did you expect that, or were you caught off guard? And why do you think things didn't go your way on that map?
When he first game, he used 2 Master Huntress and AC. So I didn't think when he played. So next game, I also wanted to play 2 Master Huntress. So yeah, I wanted to fight with him, same unit, but but different. But today, I'm lucky tonight. So because item is so really good, so better than him. So I won, yeah, I guess, yeah, I think.
All right, thank you. In map number 3, it was Demon Hunter against Demon Hunter. Did you expect this is going to be the case? And yeah, tell me about that map number 3.
This is what map?
You're catching me off guard. I just remember it was Demon against Demon. Okay, we can talk about the final map then. Conceal Hill, you both went Priestess this time, and you went for the second hero, but not him, and you didn't make Moonglaive, so I'm curious about that. And also, after he killed your tree, did you think that you were in trouble, or did you think it was still fine because you were able to remake tree?
I didn't know his play in Javelin, how many units, yeah, so just I tried this defense a lot, yeah, but when he chanced, when I base no unit, in my unit, no money, in my no unit. So his time to rush it, best time, yeah, the timing is, I lost 3, but my second hero is high level and good items, so But I can win, not lose, not bad.
You've been playing this game for over 20 years. Did you ever think that after playing this game for 2 decades, you can come to an offline tournament like this and play in front of fans in Germany?
Sorry.
You play Warcraft 3 for 20 years. Yeah, so did you ever dream, did you ever think that after 20 years, there will be a tournament like this still happening on a game as old as Warcraft 3 and you will get to play in front of fans? Like, how does this feel for you?
I came to this time, Germany, so fans so kindly and interested to me, so I happy to this time. Yeah, so next time again, I want to come to here. Yeah.
All right, I'm definitely up for that. One last thing, you're going to be meeting Happy in the grand finals, and we saw Happy play against DICE. So were you watching closely? Like DICE showed that Happy can lose a map, Happy can bleed. Did that maybe inspire you to be even more motivated here to this time try and defeat him after you lost to him previously?
Yeah, I saw DICE and Happy play matches. Yeah, DICE better than me played last night. Yeah, when I played. Yeah, so I learned his play. Yeah, so I will do fast play against Happy. So let me try get champion. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. That sounds great. Make some noise for Moon, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Back to you.